Do you want to speak more clearly? Well, you've come to the right place, as I should be an expert on it. I'm a professional voiceover artist, one of the trainers at voiceovermasterclass.com, and if the scripts I record don't come across as clear, then I'm not doing my job properly. But let's start at the very beginning. Us humans love to communicate. We love to share experiences and to discuss things using our voices. But there are many issues that could get in the way of the easy flow of information and make that clear vocal communication more difficult. There's language, of course. You may be both speaking English, but maybe the person you're speaking to has English as a second or third language. So you may need to tone down any obvious strong accent you may have, keep your sentences shorter than usual, and not use too many complicated words. Also, a good tip is to leave more of a gap than you would normally leave between each sentence. That helps the other person, who maybe isn't a native English speaker, to process each sentence as it comes. But it doesn't have to be a huge gap. Just half a second helps enormously in the listener knowing where one sentence ends and the next one begins. You can, of course, slow down your speech. You don't want your mouth to be working faster than your thoughts, which often scrambles the sense of what you're saying anyway. And to clearly pronounce the ends of words, which will often help the listener to understand more. So slower speaking can help the clarity, but you don't want to be so slow you are patronizing. If you're enthusiastic about something or worried someone else will butt in on what you're saying, or simply nervous, I can quite understand how one can easily speed up speech. But that's going to reduce the clarity of what you're saying enormously. Speak at an even pace and have the confidence that your listeners are taking it all in and won't interrupt you. Yes, be even and regular in the speed, but vary the speech with emphasis words and volume. Yes, volume on the more important parts of what you wish to say. An easy and quick fix to improve the clarity of what you are saying, to get the actual understanding across, is to ensure that you really are emphasizing the right words. It doesn't have to be as over the top as you hear us voiceovers do on radio or TV commercials, speaking like that. But certainly the odd word that you can emphasize here, that's very important as well, and can help to improve the clarity of your communication, along with gestures and emphasis with your arms or eye contact is so important. Body language is, of course, part of communication as well. You need to monitor the person you're talking to by keeping good eye contact anyway, and you should be able to tell if the other person is keeping up with you or is looking a bit perplexed, so you need to slow further or repeat something you have already said. Remember, communication is two-way, so remember to leave pauses to give the other person a chance to respond, to ensure that they understand what you are saying, and they may have a question to ask you anyway. Other factors that help communication is finding the right context and situation in which to talk. So obviously a quiet space is usually better for speaking and listening than a noisy, crowded bar. But I'm sure you'd like to know some exercises you can do to improve the clarity of your own speaking voice. Now, I've got a whole load of training courses at voiceovermasterclass.com, but I'll share with you my own quick twice daily warm-up. As a professional voiceover, a person who uses their voice, records it every day in my voice studio over there, in a variety of different types of styles, I have to warm up my voice well before I get behind a microphone. It's as important as being an athlete warming up before an event. I'll share you the routine that I do before my morning and afternoon session. It only takes 2 minutes, but it's an important 2 minutes. It will not just improve my clarity, but also make sure that I minimize any mistakes when recording, which will reduce time for me to edit out errors and to improve the overall performance and clarity of recording. First, I press my knuckles into my cheeks for half a dozen massages. This is especially good after your head has been on a pillow all night and your jawbone needs to get working again. Then I do some shoulder rolls and also massage my shoulder muscles, as neck and shoulder tension is the enemy of a good, clear speaking voice. Then I move to the mouth and pretend I'm chewing a huge ball of gum. You need to really chew on it. Move your mouth in a rotary fashion for about 20 seconds. I then stretch my mouth in all directions by repeating the letters Q, E, Q, R slowly and holding at the open position for about a second. You don't actually have to speak the letters, just mouth them, but make sure that it really stretches your mouth till it tingles, but not hurt. Now some telephone trills to perk up the lips. Make it sound like a telephone. Just blow hard and get those lips vibrating. Again, get your lips to tingle. If you don't feel this, you're not doing these trills right. Then, about 20 seconds of tongue work, waggling from side to side as fast as you can. Don't push out the tongue too much, just do it side to side. If you push out, you could strain your precious tongue. Finally, I take in some very deep diaphragmatic breaths. This calms me down and gets the oxygen levels up before I face my first voiceover script of the day. Well, that's what I personally do twice a day before I record any scripts. You would need to find out which ones would be more suitable for you and your voice. And if you were starting out, you would need to do far more than just 2 minutes, including exercises such as putting a drinking straw between your teeth and trying to say the alphabet. That way really gets your mouth working. You would say tongue twisters, and there are many other important voice exercises all out there that you can do regularly to help improve the clarity of your speaking voice. Now, some of these exercises may be more suitable for the type of voice that you have and any problems that you may want to fix. So you need to find your own favorite routine of exercises and to do them every day. I would suggest after your breakfast, after you've brushed your teeth, and before you start your day. Go somewhere quiet and private for your vocal tone-up exercises. And you will find that after a couple of weeks of doing your exercises daily, you will find yourself speaking much clearer. So, how do you know if you are speaking clearer? Well as finding yourself able to, as we say, hold court easier in a group of people, and other people actively listening to you more, as they'll be able to understand you more. You will need to develop a sense of listening to yourself. This is what us professional voiceovers need to do all the time, especially if we are recording in our home recording studios without anybody else directing us. There are sometimes with us producers or advertising agency people listening to our every breath, but an awful lot of our work is done on our own. So you need to do what we do. You need to be able to monitor yourself very accurately. So as soon as you say every word, your ears need to be able to pick up and do an instant vocal quality check. You'd say to yourself, is what I've just said okay? Did I just say that word okay clearly? Was the pronunciation good? Was the gap sufficient? And your brain can be trained to listen very carefully as you speak. It's a remarkable thing that you can train yourself to do, but something that's very worthwhile. If you find it difficult, put headphones on connected to an audio recorder, turn it up loud, so you'll be able to hear yourself clearly in your headphones as you speak. Now, this self-monitoring will really help you to improve your speech quality and your clarity. The other thing to do is to realize that the way you speak is directly related to how you were brought up. As a baby and as a small child, you were simply copying what you heard around you to create your speech patterns. This can be unlearned if you are unhappy with your current voice, accent, or dialect. Find someone that you really like the sound of, someone who speaks cleanly and clearly, with authority, maybe an actor or a politician you admire. Find a recording of them and try to impersonate them. Find just a minute or two of their speech, play their speech back, a section at a time, and record yourself on another machine trying to be like them. Emulate, copy their speed, copy their emphasis words, copy their pauses. Try and work out what makes their voice stand out and why you admire their voice. And this way, you can retrain your voice for a clearer, better sound. Well, good luck with making your speech clearer. We have our 30-day course available at voiceovermasterclass.com. Please check that out. And if you're interested in becoming a professional voiceover and setting up a little recording studio at home, we have courses on this as well. Thank you very much for watching. More at voiceovermasterclass.com.